Welcome to Module 5 for Co-Teaching within Durham Public Schools. This module will focus on best practices for classroom management within a co-teaching environment. The physical learning environment should be a place that informs and engages all students, one that can motivate the students, enhance learning, and reduce behavior challenges. The arrangement should complement the co-teaching approach that's used most often to allow for an effective and efficient delivery of the material that's being taught. When you think about the physical learning environment, there's some key ideas that you want to consider. Consider each of these with your co-teaching partner. Both teachers should control the space. Spaces should be clearly defined within the room. The arrangement of desks or tables should complement co-teaching. Students with disabilities should be interspersed into the seating arrangement appropriately. Consider having classroom walls that have an instructional focus. Also consider designing the room to stimulate learning and accomplish instructional goals and objectives. Keep traffic areas free of congestion. Make commonly used materials and technology easily accessible. Do you think this picture represents appropriate seating? Reflect on that and think why or why not. Here are some ideas to consider when defining and teaching behavioral expectations within the co-taught classroom. Your expectations should include positive statements. You should have your students assist in setting the expectations. Make sure they're set on the first day of school and that they're an extension of the school-wide expectation. Make sure that they're frequently rehearsed and reviewed, and this can mean on a daily basis. Make sure that you have a system for systematically teaching your classroom expectations. And also supervision and feedback should be provided on a continuous basis. As a reminder, all schools in Durham Public Schools should be implementing or following the PBIS framework, which defines all of this for the school staff and co-teachers as well. Make sure your classroom expectations align with your school-wide PBIS expectations. Co-teachers should determine the components of classroom management system to prevent inappropriate student behavior and promote learning within the school environment. The system should be coherent, consistent, positive, and proactive. So when you think about establishing classroom routines, these are just some ideas that you may want to think about. How will you have the students move around the classroom? How will you start the day, have them enter the class? How will they work independently? Securing assistance, how will they sharpen their pencils? Other ideas are routines to establish, or how you're going to have them speak in the classroom, work in groups, their personal needs, go to the restroom, organize assignments, conducting tests, sending work home. All of these and any other regular classroom routines that are in your co-taught classroom need to be thought about ahead of time and planned out with your co-teaching partner. We're going to provide some classroom scenarios. I'm not going to read each one. I'm just going to ask that you pause the video when it comes to each one so you have time to review it and discuss it with your co-teaching partner. Here's a middle school, high school scenario 1. This is the second scenario for middle or high school. If you're a secondary teacher, please pause the video and discuss this with your co-teaching partner. Here's an elementary scenario. If you're an elementary co-teacher, please pause the video and discuss this with your partner. Another elementary scenario. If you're an elementary co-teacher, please pause and discuss with your partner. A functional schedule should be posted for each day of the week that is stable and predictable, reflects changes, and provides sufficient structure so that you don't have a classroom that looks like this. So as you look at this cartoon, think about what you could do to change these behaviors. For example, how might you change the physical environment? Would you establish any specific routines? What would you do to develop a classroom management structure? Many special education teachers feel that it's their place to conform to the procedures set in place by the classroom teacher, since the special educator is not in that classroom all day. If this is the case, the special educator needs to have a clear understanding of those expectations from the classroom teacher so that consistency is maintained. Regardless of who initiates the procedures, it's imperative that both teachers agree upon them and enforce them equally. In order to improve classroom management strategies, PBIS is a school-wide support model that is designed to prevent behavioral problems. PBIS allows co-teachers to create and utilize the same behavior management systems so that consistency is found across settings, between teachers, and across the school environment as well. When co-teachers share and practice principles of respect and belief in students' capacity to learn, they maximize instructional outcomes. Take a moment to reflect on this quote and reflect on how classroom management might impact student achievement. Do you believe it does? If so, in what way? How does it affect a co-teaching partnership? For students to be involved actively in academic work, effective classroom management must exist. Expected classroom procedures provide for smooth and continuous learning due to fewer disruptions and high levels of time on task. This type of classroom management ensures that class time is spent effectively. It is essential that co-teachers work together to set up and maintain a mutually agreed upon set of classroom rules and procedures. If co-teachers want students to respect them as equal members in the classroom, they need to share the responsibility of behavior management. We need to be careful and reflective and make sure that we're getting away from the belief that these are my students and those are your students. While this concept is important throughout the co-teaching partnership, it's especially important in terms of behavior management. When considering individual students and behaviors, teachers must know the 3 pieces of information included on this slide. 1, behaviors can still occur even with an effective plan in place. 2, if behaviors are occurring, teachers must collect data to determine why the behavior is occurring, to determine what is the function of that behavior. And the 3rd concept is that the intervention has to match the function of the behavior, and consequences are not adequate to correct behavior, so in addition, replacement behaviors must be taught. I'm going to show you some additional classroom scenarios ask that you pause the video and then take time to read through them with your co-teaching partner and discuss how you might respond. If you're a secondary teacher, please pause the video now and discuss with your co-teaching partner. If you're a secondary teacher, please pause the video now and discuss scenario 3 with your partner. This is an elementary scenario. If you're an elementary co-teacher, please pause the video now and discuss with your partner. This is a second elementary scenario. If you're an elementary co-teacher, please pause the video now and discuss with your partner. Thank you for participating in this module. The next module will focus on monitoring student progress and measuring the effectiveness of your current co-teaching practices.